Hey everyone, Jeff from jeffbrown.tech here. Today I want to talk to you real quick about try-catch blocks inside of your PowerShell scripts. You'll want to use try-catch blocks in order to respond or handle terminating errors inside of your scripts. The try block is going to have a statement that you want to perform a particular action on in case it errors out. But before we dive into the try-catch block, let's take a quick look at exactly what we're going to be dealing with. So I've got a command here, new item, where I'm giving it a path that doesn't exist on my system and trying to make this myfile.txt file. If we run this command, we'll get some output here that's, there's a lot of red text. You might not quite know what is going on. I mean, the first line says, could not find a part of the path, and that's fine. But if you're running this inside of a script and maybe it's happening a whole bunch of times and it kind of flies by on the screen, you may not be able to catch exactly what's happening until you kind of stop the script and take a look at it. So what we want to do is take this command that we're trying to run here and put it inside of a try-catch block. And the try-catch block syntax is very simple. You have a try statement with some curly brackets where your commands are going to go, and then a catch keyword, and then another set of curly brackets where you're going to handle that error. So let's go take a look at our first example here. Now I've taken that new item command that we used before and put it inside the try block here. And you'll notice also at the end of it, I had to put a -error action stop. Now what this is doing, not every command, if it runs into an error, is what is considered a terminating error. And only when a command causes a terminating error will it go into the catch block. So in this case, when the new item commandlet fails, it's not quite doing that. It's a non-terminating error. So I have to add the -error action stop in order to make it a terminating action and to fall into the catch block. And what we've done here is inside the catch block just basically wrote out a warning to the screen saying an error has occurred. So let's highlight this text here and see what it looks like. And you can see down in our console terminal window here, we got our custom message that just said, a warning, an error has occurred. Now we've customized that message a little bit. Instead of the red text we got before, now we just see, hey, an error has occurred when we ran this command. Our custom warning there really doesn't tell us a lot. Anything could have happened there. We just basically said an error has occurred. So let's take a look at our next example to get a little bit more detail. In this case, inside of the catch block, we're using the $error variable, which is a pre-made variable inside of PowerShell that contains all the errors that have been occurring inside the console. In this case, we're going to reference the last error, which is actually the first one in the array of errors, by indicating the bracket 0 there. Now, whenever we run this command, we're going to see down at the bottom where we get a little bit more detailed message of the error. It's basically what we saw earlier inside of the red text, but this time we just get that saying could not find part of the path. So we've cleaned up the message a little bit. We don't get this big block of red text. We just get a warning and a very concise message telling us what happened. But let's say we have a couple of different errors that could occur and we don't want to do the exact same thing to every error message. Try-catch blocks allow having multiple catches in them, and you can also specify errors and perform different actions depending on which one happens. So let's take a look at our next example. In this next example, we have multiple catch blocks where we're specifying exception messages. First one says not supported exception, which just means an illegal character was used in the file name. And the second one is directory not found exception, just meaning the path is not valid. So what I'm going to do is uncomment this first new item command and show where we're going to hit the not supported exception catch block. You can see in the terminal window we hit the catch block stating there was an illegal character in the file name. So I'm going to comment this one back out. We're going to run the second one showing the directory not found exception catch block. And then you can see in the terminal window down there, we hit the path is not valid custom warning message there. Now you'll see there is a third catch block here that doesn't have an exception message associated with it. This is really a catch-all. If we hit any other type of exception, the try block will fall into this catch and just say an unexpected error has occurred. Now you might be wondering, how do you know the exception messages? And this is very easy. We can go back to using the $error variable we used earlier. So again, here I have my new item command with the path that doesn't exist. And if we run this, we get that same red text that we got earlier showing, could not find a part of the file path. But if we run this command on line 48, if we look at the $error variable and look at the last error that occurred using the 0 index, and then look at a couple of methods on it, the exception.getType.fullName, that's going to return back that system.io.directory not found exception, which we used in our catch block earlier to give that custom message there showing the path is not valid. Now, inside of your catch blocks, you can do more than just write out a warning or an error or a custom message. You can do some type of additional error handling to maybe resolve the exception that you ran into, thereby, allowing your script to continue or just handle it a little bit better. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.